So, let me get this straight. You humans sent Marcus Kane, a guy who once mistook a stapler for a weapon during training, to negotiate the fate of your entire species. Yeah. That Marcus Kane. The same one who showed up to our first contact summit wearing mismatched socks and carrying what he insisted was a lucky sandwich. I'm Loreth, by the case you're wondering, and I've been observing your bizarre little planet for the past 70 cycles. Trust me when I say, you people have absolutely no idea how close you came to being wiped out last Tuesday. The whole mess started when our council, the Dominion Assembly, detected something alarming from Earth. Your scientists, bless their enthusiastic little hearts, had accidentally created a quantum resonance pulse while trying to microwave leftover pizza at some facility in Nevada. Yes, you read that correctly. Pizza. This pulse didn't just heat up cheese, oh no. It triggered a cascade reaction that would, within 6 planetary rotations, tear a hole in spacetime large enough to swallow your solar system. And probably 3 others nearby. Whoops, now, most civilized species would have immediately contacted us, admitted the mistake, and asked for help. But not humans. Oh no. Your government spent 48 hours arguing about who was responsible, pointing fingers, and holding press conferences where absolutely nothing useful was said. Meanwhile, the doomsday clock kept ticking, ticking, ticking. That's when Marcus Kane entered the picture. Kane worked for something called the Planetary Defense Initiative, which sounds impressive until you realize it's basically 5 people in a basement with outdated computers and a budget that wouldn't cover a decent lunch. He wasn't even supposed to be the contact agent. That honor belonged to Director Patricia Voss, a woman with 17 advanced degrees and the personality of a particularly stern textbook. But Voss ate bag shrimp the night before the meeting. Food poisoning. Spectacular timing, so they sent Kane instead. I'll never forget when he strutted, into our orbiting command center like he owned the place. My colleagues, beings who conquered death itself and mastered technologies you couldn't even pronounce, just stared. He was chewing gum. Actual gum. During first contact with an advanced alien civilization. The audacity. Hey there, space friends. He announced, waving like we were old buddies meeting at a barbecue. Marcus Kane, Earth's finest, here to chat about this whole end-of-the-world situation. Got any coffee? I'm dying here. Commander Zelfix, who'd vaporized entire rebellions with a single thought, looked genuinely confused. You are not taking this seriously, human. Oh, I'm taking it seriously, Kane replied, flopping into a chair designed for beings twice his size. I'm just also realistic about our chances. You guys are clearly way more advanced, probably thinking we're primitive morons who broke the universe with leftover food. And you know what? You're absolutely right. But here's the thing. He leaned forward, suddenly intense. We're also the species that looked at the concept of flight, something nature gave to birds and insects, and said, nah, we want that too. Then we built machines that could do it. We're stubborn like that. Zelfix's tentacles twitched, a sign of irritation. Your stubbornness is irrelevant. The quantum tear will expand in 5 days unless we intervene. However, our intervention requires resources, time, and justification. Why should the Dominion save a species so reckless it nearly destroyed itself heating food? Because, Kane said, pulling out a small device, we figured out how to reverse it. The entire room went silent. And I mean silent. You could have heard a pin drop, if pins made sounds in zero gravity, which they don't, but you get the idea. Impossible, Zelfix hissed. Our top scientists spent cycles analyzing the problem. The mathematics alone would require computational power beyond your civilization's capacity. Kane shrugged. Yeah, well, we gave the problem to a 16-year-old kid named Tommy Lou who's really good at video games and math. Took him 9 hours and a dangerous amount of energy drinks, but he cracked it. Here's the formula. He tossed the device onto the conference table. It landed with an anticlimactic plop. I retrieved it, scanned the contents, and felt my three hearts skip simultaneously. The calculations were crude, inelegant, held together with what you humans call duct tape logic. But they worked. They actually worked. This teenager had solved in hours what had stumped beings with millennia of collective knowledge. How? I couldn't help asking. Kane grinned. Tommy said, and I quote, "The universe is basically a really complicated video game, and every game has exploits." He found the exploit. Kids are genius. Terrible at gym class though. Commander Zelfix examined the data, their expression shifting from skepticism to something resembling respect. This is revolutionary. Crude, yes. But revolutionary. Your species solved its own extinction event. We caused it, seemed only fair we fix it, Kane replied. But here's the catch. We need your help to actually implement the solution. Our technology isn't advanced enough. We've got the recipe, you've got the kitchen. So what do you say? Partners. The chamber erupted in debate. Some council members argued humans were too dangerous to assist. Others pointed out that any species capable of such innovative thinking might be valuable allies. The argument raged for what felt like hours, tensions rising, voices escalating. Kane just sat there, chewing his gum, occasionally checking something on his primitive communication device. Finally, Zelfix raised a manipulator appendage for silence. Human Marcus Kane. Your species stands on the precipice of annihilation. Yet you demonstrate neither fear nor desperation. Why? Kane stopped chewing. For the first time since arriving, his casual demeanor dropped completely. Because fear and desperation make you stupid. And we can't afford stupid right now. Look, I know what you all think. You think we're these chaotic, barely functional creatures who stumbled into technology we don't understand. And honestly, fair assessment. But we're also the creatures who survived ice ages, plagues, wars, and disasters that should have wiped us out dozens of times. We're really, really good at not dying. Sometimes we do it with brilliance. Sometimes we do it with dumb luck. But we do it. He stood up, meeting Zelfix's gaze directly. So here's my pitch. Help us fix this mess. In exchange, we'll share Tommy's methodology. Imagine what your scientists could do with that perspective. Plus, you get to say you saved an entire species. That's gotta look good on a resume, right? The vote was closer than I expected.